The parshiyot of sefer vayikra are extremely detailed. Sometimes, within the details, it's hard for us to see what the grand message of the sefer is coming to teach us. Let's for one moment zoom out and try to understand the flow of all of sefer vayikra. The first two parshiyot of sefer vayikra, vayikra and tzav, discuss the sacrifices, or as they called in the laws of the Gemara, kedusha, kodesh, sanctity. How to serve Hashem in the Beit HaMikdash. When they then move on to the inauguration of the Mishkan, and in Parshat Shmini, we end with the story of Nadav and Avihu. What is strange is the fact that the story of Nadav and Avihu does not actually end in Shmini. Rather, it's mentioned once again later on at the end of Sefer Vayikra in Parshat Acharei Mot. Right when we learn about the sacrifices that are given in the Beit HaMikdash on Yom HaKippur. Why do we have this break right in the middle of the story? Why is the story of Nadav and Avihu broken up into two separate parts? The parshiyot in between, half of Shmini, Tazria and Metzora, speak about the laws of Tuma and Tara, purity and impurity. We learn about which animals are pure, Tzarat, and other type of impurities, and then we go back to the story of Nadav and Avihu and the sacrificial laws. What is the goal of stopping the discussion about Kedusha, the sacrifices, and then focusing on the laws of Tuma and Tara, on purity and impurity? I believe that the Torah here is teaching us a very powerful lesson about Kedusha. Kedusha is the final goal of the Jewish people. It is the task of sanctifying the mundane, using physical materials to reach a higher objective, raising them up to the levels of holiness. It is the ultimate transformation of using and focusing this world on a higher mission. However, we must realize that Kedusha is something extremely delicate. And it can be confused sometimes when we're mixing spiritual and physical. It's very easy to veer away from our real purpose. And therefore, we need Tuma and Tara. The role of Tuma and Tara is to make sure that we have a heightened sense of morality, a clarity of what is right and what is wrong, in order to keep us on track, and so that we can successfully enter even the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur, without falling into the pitfalls of Nadav and Avihu. Once we are able to internalize the message of Tuma and Tara, being the proper manner in which we approach sanctity and transform the physical into something amazing and holy, at that point, something incredible happens. By the end of Parshat Acharei Mot and entering into the Parshiyot of Kedoshim, Emor, and Bahar, we continue with the world of Kedusha. However, this time, we leave the confines of the Mishkan and take the Kedusha out into the greater world. The family relationships in Acharei Mot, sanctity of community in Parshat Kedoshim, holiness of time in Parshat Emor, and sanctifying the land in the sabbatical year in Parshat Bahar. Only at that point are we ready to enter into the covenant with Hashem at the end of Sefer Vayikra in Parshat Bechukotai. When we approach the sanctification of the mundane in the Beit HaMikdash, in the proper way, through the lens of Tuma and Tara, with a heightened sense of morality, we then are prepared to take Kedusha out of the Mikdash and spread it to the rest of the world. That, in a nutshell, is Sefer Vayikra. Shabbat Shalom.